Ooh. In alchemy, there's an arcane riddle. Visit the interior of the earth and by rectifying find the hidden stone. In a great many of these mystery traditions, there are these quest objects: the Holy Grail, the Spear of Destiny, the Tree of Life, the Golden Fleece, the Philosopher's Stone. Well, I have visited the interior of the earth. I have rectified, and I present to you the hidden stone, the Philosopher's Stone, and possibly all the other magical quest items I just mentioned here on The Secret Science. We're told that to the ancients, religion, science and art were one and the same. Well, this ancient science I have found in religious and occulted artworks the world over, and from a time so long ago, I'm finding it quite vertiginous to be stood on the precipice of this information. Visita interiora terra. Visita interiora terra, rectificando Ioannes occultus lapidem, which means visit the interior of the earth and by rectifying find the hidden stone. But what does that actually mean? Well, it means that you've got to really dig down and dig deep underneath things to find out what's really going on, that thing that's permanent and fixed, the truth. Well, this stone is at the base and is the hidden template of all these occulted and religious artworks. It seems to be something they're really trying to tell us, but really trying to keep secret. Parts of this formula will be familiar to many, having been revealed to modernity by the hard work of others, including John Michel, who's written on his New Jerusalem diagram, which thankfully I knew nothing about at the time, else I'd have considered this thing solved. A simplified explanation of the construction begins with drawing a Vesica Pisces, which appears in religious art everywhere, and more recently as part of the Flower of Life geometry. From that Vesica, draw a triangle, which is a scaled version of the Great Pyramid. There's another ancient geometer's riddle, squaring the circle. You take a circle and a square with the same total perimeter, and when you've done that, the diagram has two circles which quite confoundingly cosmically correlate to the dimensions of Moon and the Earth, a harmony of spheres. Utilising that squared circle, a heptagon or a septagon, a seven-sided shape, is generated, which uncoincidentally has the same angles as the Great Pyramid. It should be noted that drafting the perfect heptagon with square and compass is considered impossible. As the iconic magician's pentagram is a pentagon joined by imploding intersections of lines, so too the septagon heptagram is an inverted skeletal heptagon. A second inverted copy is made and then placed above it according to the indications made by the geometry itself. Being a lopsided shape, the inversion completes the symmetry. The Vesica almond seed shape has grown into something like a tree. Now we can discover its fruits of knowledge. The sacred toroidal geometries of the Vesica Pisces born pattern generate special ratios: bronze, silver, and most importantly, golden ratio, the most highly guarded ancient mystery gnosis and central mystery of this pattern. The golden ratio appears in so many of nature's wonders. It's this beautiful metaphysical fact. It appears in the largest scale in the spiral of galaxies, then going smaller down into the spin of hurricanes, then even further down into the spin of our DNA. So what does golden ratio do? Well, a great example in nature is the head of a sunflower, where those seeds grow. There's a golden ratio spiral based on the Fibonacci sequence, which goes around, which not only allows each seed to grow individually in scale, but also the whole of the sunflower seed can add as many seeds as it needs to while also scaling up. It's beautiful and fractal. A fractal is as above, so below. In a tree, those branching movements that it makes as it grows, the lesser is like the greater, and the greater is like the lesser. The tree trunk is like the branch, which is like as the way that each leaf stems off. It's beautiful. The golden ratio, the golden section, the golden cut, the divine proportion, the golden angle, the Fibonacci sequence, call it what you want to. To many ancient magicians, this was seen as being pre-number. In fact, it might actually, I've seen hints of, that they thought it was actually the ratio in which the universe divided itself into as the universe separated itself from the nothing, that nothing divided into 1 to 1.61. And so, this angle, these ratios, along with two other ratios called bronze and silver ratios, are exploited by the pattern, which I'm not going to reveal too much here, but seems to be absolutely based on vesica geometry. These special ratios then go on to produce sacred numbers within the diagram, such as 432. If the perimeter of a circle is 432, the diameter is 137.5, the golden angle. It also generates 1080, which is the moon's radius, 3960, which is the Earth's radius, and amazingly, adding these two together gives a superior composite number of 5040, which gave the Babylonians their sexagesimal system and our modern clock. There are also typical icons, pillars, pyramids, pythons, and groups, magicians, masons, majesties associated with it, which can help guide and gain an alignment quite swiftly. Various intervals give the various special ratios, which adaptively change and shift dependent on plane and position. Suffice to say, it's a simple game of connect the dots. It might not fit over the average Batman panel, but the potential for an image to contain this pattern is easy to spot once the mind has seen it a few times. An obvious sidestep of logic led me to the Great Pyramid. The intersection of the heptagon lines gives the nodal points to outline the measures of construction. This fractal template is so adaptable to scale and position, it might give you several solutions. The fact of so many adaptations are the result of the power of fractality. When you think of the pyramids, the next obvious place to go to would be Stonehenge. The alignments on these heptagrams amazingly give detailed positions of the stones. The occulting artist chose to hide the secrets in several layers of meaning. Obviously icons, obviously there's a layer of myth in these things. Then you go down to number, and then the underlying part is this pattern. And it goes back a very long way. It can be seen in medieval arts from the Renaissance onwards. Lots of guys are using it but keeping it a secret. Now, okay, all the paintings might be different, all the architecture might look vastly different, but this is a layer at the bottom as if carved into stone, and from there everything else is decided by the artist, by the feminine curve from a compass or a straight line masculine from a set square or ruler. I am in no way connected to any secret society and never have been. I found this through a series of synchronous events that led me to a depiction of Sheila Gig, who is a goddess depicted on lots of ancient churches in the British Isles. And she exhibits this geometry. The clue to me was given by the fact that she's opening up her sex in the shape of a vesica Pisces, and is the general shape of a pyramid. One thing led to another, and this took me back to Gobekli Tepe, which has the same icon, and then to the handbags at Gobekli Tepe, also famous in Babylon and Sumeria, carried by these magician knowledge givers. So guessing that these things had this squared circle pattern based geometry in there, I started to overlay what I was doing, and it matched up pretty quickly, and those dots that I hadn't connected were pretty obvious once I had the base of the pattern. So this I took to Gobekli Tepe, and not only is it present in the handbag itself, but it's present in the pillar, as it's present in the goddess. I suspect it's present in the actual layout of the site. Furthermore, I know what's in the magic bag. Presto! By their own encoding of this information, the knowledge is the bag. It's present not only in the bag, it's present in the pillar. It's not only present in the pillar, it's present in the goddess. I expect it's present in the actual layout of the site itself, just as it's present at Stonehenge, just as it's present in the pyramids. It's everywhere. It's this brilliantly kept secret, brilliantly usable. I can only imagine what we use it for in the future. However, Gobekli Tepe is 10,000 years old and recently upset the scientific community that it pushed back the date of civilization by 4,000 years. Well, we've already said we need little socio-historical context. Either the pattern's there or it isn't. Simple. So now let's wind it back to a cave wall 35,000 years old. Is it there or isn't it? Some of these images are clearly produced by masters of the craft, and other ones by initiates, often producing googly-eyed, overly disjointed creatures that look like aliens. But they're not. It looks to me like they're actually trying to teach this pattern, and these are the guys learning it and taking the initial shapes and showing the fundamentals of what can actually be done with this beautiful and amazing fractal template. Visit the interior of the earth, and by rectifying, find the hidden stone. The earth, in this instance, is the art. It's the image itself. We rectify it. Rectify it kind of means to purify. We purify the earth. We get rid of everything that's extraneous. And we find the hidden stone, the architecture, the template underneath, which defines everything above it. And in this case, it's a beautiful dynamic symmetry of golden ratio, producing these beautiful images that are totally in line with nature. There are many more secrets here, and this goes a lot further down the rabbit hole. So, why the bag? Why the bull? Why the cup? Why the goddess? Why the stone? Well, all these things share a base archetype, and that is they all hold something. The bag holds things together. The goddess holds the pattern, the energy of the universe together and gestates it, just as do cows and bulls. In fact, that archetype is one further in that the bull in the ancient days was used as a placeholder for the god, as the bull was the one of the many. It was the singular of the herd, and the bull, as in Taurus, symbolizes materialism, those things manifested into materiality, those things fixed. And so we see that this common archetype gives away the true nature of this symbol, and that is, it's a cup, it's a grail, it is a goddess, it's all of these things. And what are the implications of this? Well, it seems to me that they're insinuating that this is a fundamental pattern within the universe.
It's the internal structure of the goddess. It's the internal structure of that bag. It's the many-faceted stone that lies at the heart of truth. So, my name is Ryan 7. This was the Philosopher's Stone. It was a key to the door of the new section. This has been The Secret Science.
The mysterious tarot. There are ancient secrets hidden by sages, philosophers, and magicians herein. This misunderstood book of wisdom has become wrongly interpreted and intentionally obscured to hide its high arts. Understanding, until now, required all of the students' resources, time, and focus to embark on this most dedicated quest. Quest for what? The Fountain of Youth? The Philosopher's Stone? The Holy Grail? Yes, the answers, already discovered, are here. Painstakingly studied and boldly rendered by Ryan 7, every deck, book, opinion, and resource was compared, contrasted, and compiled in deep contemplation. Finally, the lost truth of the cards is revealed and elegantly explained in this deck for the first time. Take, for example, the Hanged Man. He's seen as being punished or sacrificed. But what are these fingers? Why his tongue? His suspended state comes before his metamorphosis from ugly duckling into Cygnus, the celestial swan, as shaman do. His fingers are feathers, his tongue is a beak. There's a powerful secret here. The tarot is a complete system based on the ancient mysteries. It contains many layers of high arts, without the hocus pocus. Speed up thoughts with archetypes. Know yourself, know others with personality types. Decode symbols and dreams. Understand your unconscious self. See universal structure in geometry and number. Utilize energies around you with alchemy. Learn magic potions to heal and gain gnosis. Comprehend sorcery, the truth of casting spells. Mastery of self, mastery of surroundings, mastery of interaction. The tarot is a roadmap to enlightenment. As for the stone and the grail, they're in here, along with the identity of the Spear of Destiny, the Ambrosia of Olympus, Atlantis, the Green Lion, the Tree of Life, Thor's Hammer, and myriad more, including an ancient proof that the universe is a fractal hologram. These things were developed by the highest minds. Knowledge is indeed power, which is best hidden away, lest the subject comprehend his master's advantage. Here is the method of our subjugation. Tarot is called the royal art. That which can enlighten can also enslave. To raise yourself to full consciousness, to full potential, is to throw off those hidden shackles forged by subtle hammers. Free yourself, gain hidden knowledge and mastery of self, help transform yourself and the world, reclaim your power. It all starts now. Make it simple for yourself. Fund the release of this deck and its accompanying book and videos, and have the key to the mysteries delivered to your door.